Welcome everyone to the CSC's Mentoring Programme's introductory webinar. And firstly, congratulations on being selected as a mentee and a mentor this year in this year's program. Today's webinar, again, as I've said, it's going to be roughly for 1 hour. So if you have any questions, do pop them in the chat box and we will look at them after the presentation. A brief introduction about the CSC's mentoring program. So since 2019, we have had over 650 Commonwealth scholars and alumni participating in the program as either mentees or mentors. And the CSC Mentoring Program aims to connect Commonwealth scholars and alumni in a one-to-one mentoring relationship. It provides an opportunity for scholars and alumni to share knowledge and skills with each other, including developing professional and personal skills. The program supports scholars in understanding how to apply your skills and learnings to achieve development impact post-scholarship, and also provides scholars with advice and guidance on living in the UK as well as studying while you're here in the UK. And it supports alumni to develop mentoring skills, collaborate with a new scholar, or in your case with a doctoral scholar, and share your expertise from your time as a scholar. A little about how the program works for doctoral mentees and their mentors. So mentors joining us today are paired with a doctoral mentee or a mentee who's pursuing their MPhil. The nature of mentoring support you will provide to your doctoral mentees is a little different compared to the support master's mentees will be receiving. And we will talk more briefly about the different kind of support that doctoral mentees will seek throughout the year. Scholars and alumni are paired based on the responses provided in your application forms. Some of the key factors that we look from the application forms are the selected topics, the area of your study, your sector of work or your field of work, the level of and degree of your study, and the keywords related to this. So this is a year-long program starting from December 2023 until December 2024, which means that now until December will be a great time for you to build rapport, initiate the first communication, and start scheduling your first meeting. This means that for PhD scholars, the year-long program starts in December, and this covers the initial 1 year of your study. So some mentees may be in their first year of their doctoral studies or their second year of their doctoral studies. So the program cycle will cover the initial 1 year of your study. To gain full benefits of the program, both mentees and mentors will need to set SMART goals. We will talk more about what these SMART goals are later on, but this will help to achieve objectives of the program and also your personal objectives as you set these objectives for yourselves. We suggest that you schedule contact points with each other throughout the program. So the minimum time commitment for engagement is 2 hours every month. And now you can set this 2 hours as per each other's availability. So for example, you can schedule a 30-minute call every week or a 1 hour call every other week. If you wish to meet more than 2 hours every month, feel free to do that as well, as long as both of you are available to schedule that meeting and meet with each other more frequently. The program includes 4 key touch points around each quarter of the mentoring stage. So we, in the sense the CSC Alumni Team, will get in touch with you before the end of each stage to provide more updates and share information on the upcoming stage of the mentoring program. These touch points will help in preparing you to think about the next stage, to know about upcoming events for mentees and mentors, and just general information on what are the expected outcomes from each stage of the program. The CSC Alumni Team will also organize frequent virtual meetups for mentees and mentors. And these meetups are basically great opportunity for mentees to meet with your fellow mentees and for mentors to meet with your fellow mentors. Share your experiences of participating in the program, ask any questions you might have to each other or to the CSC Alumni Team. And it also gives us, the CSC Alumni Team, a good opportunity to meet you in not in person, but through the virtual event. So do look out for more information on the virtual meetups. Do sign up to attend these events as much as possible. These virtual meetups are not recorded, so it would be really great to see you all during these live virtual events. Moving on, I will briefly talk about roles and responsibilities of a mentor. So as a mentor, your overall role is to support a doctoral scholar in developing appropriate skills and knowledge, which will help them in understanding the development impact of their the development impact potential of their studies. Based on your experience of completing a doctoral study, you will share your skills and expertise in completing doctoral studies with your mentee. Based on your experience as a CSC scholar, you will provide guidance on how they can implement their learnings and skills after their doctoral studies. And this can include guidance on how to take their research study forward, guidance on career options, or how to network with other experts within the sector, to share information about how to take their research study and learnings forward, for example, in publishing the research, and of course, how to achieve development impact after their studies. You will develop mentoring skills along with soft skills, of course, that can be beneficial to your own professional development. And these can include skills such as active listening, how to provide constructive feedback, time management, and so on. You will also encourage your mentee to be a part of the wider CSC community by actively engaging in the various CSC's activities and events. So, for example, encourage your mentee to join the CSC's knowledge hubs. You can encourage your mentee to join the live monthly CSC webinars, or join the regional network events, and also have a look at the alumni associations back in their home countries. Roles and responsibilities of a mentee. So as a mentee, you will have the opportunity to seek guidance on understanding how your doctoral studies will support your development impact goals. Do discuss with your mentor how to disseminate your research and learn more about the practical application of your research study for sustainable development impact. You will also develop soft skills for personal and professional development, and these can include skills such as problem solving, time management, public speaking, or academic skills like how to write or develop your research further. Do ask questions to your mentor. So we do encourage mentees to ask questions on how to implement your learnings post-studies, or or ask your mentor about what were their experiences of pursuing a doctoral study, or what were their experiences as a CSC scholar. Ask for support in adjusting to living and studying in the UK. You may wish to discuss your studying method in the UK as compared to in your home country. You can also ask about various activities to get involved through the CSE, or activities within your university, your UK universities. Ask for tips on joining a local community, volunteering activities, or something as simple as how to deal with the cold weather in the country. Lastly, remember to share updates on your studies and progress on any updates about your studies, and keep them updated about how any new developments within your goals that you're setting within the program, within the mentoring program. If you have any busy upcoming study periods where you have to take a break, do keep your mentor updated and well informed regularly. Moving on to expectations of mentors and mentees. Don't forget to celebrate successes. Make sure that you acknowledge each other's milestones, and these can be both within the program and externally as well, and celebrate them together. Do ask, when you're meeting with your mentee or your mentor, do ask them if they have any special updates that they would like to mention, and celebrate them in your own way. We believe that mentoring is a two-way learning process. Mentees and mentors will need to support each other to achieve the set goals and learn from each other during the process. So as I mentioned earlier, mentors will also have the opportunity to set goals for themselves, for their own personal or professional development. So mentees, do ask your mentor what are the goals that they would like to set by participating in the program, and how best you can support them in achieving these goals. Remember to share constructive feedback, or to provide constructive feedback to each other. We have provided tips on how to provide and receive constructive feedback in your mentoring handbook. So do have a look at that. There are some resources in the handbook, so please, I would encourage you to have a look at the handbook, and I will mention the page number shortly. Mentees must adhere to the CSC Code of Conduct for award holders, while at the same time, mentors, please do have a look at the Code of Conduct for alumni, and these are available on the CSC website. While these are the expectations, there are also some do not do's that you need to consider while you're participating in the program. So mentors must refrain from completing academic work on behalf of your mentee. Mentees, do bear in mind that you cannot seek your mentor's support to either draft or write or proofread your research work. Mentors, you can provide guidance or look at sections of work, but you should not edit or whole chapters or essays. This is not the purpose of the program or of you as a role of a mentor. If you do want to read certain sections of your mentee's work, that is completely fine, but please do not go ahead and do full edits to their work. Mentors can provide, mentors, please do refrain from providing advice on immigration and welfare matters. If mentees do request for these queries, if mentees request for your suggestion or advice on these queries, please direct them to their program officer, who would be the best person to respond to such queries. So on this slide, you can see an overview of the 5 stages of the mentoring program. I'm not going to go through explaining each of the stage here at this point. I will quickly run through these stages in the next few slides. But just to let you know that we have the CSC Mentoring Program has 5 stages, right from December 2023 until December 2024. So beginning with stage 1, which is basically introductions and induction. So mentees and mentors are expected to attend an introductory webinar, which you are all attending at the moment. As I mentioned, if your mentee or mentor has missed attending this live session, this is a recorded session, and this recording will be made available on the CSC's YouTube channel. Do take this opportunity to know more about each other. As I said, this is an introduction stage. And this is basically about building rapport with each other. So please do have a look at some icebreaker questions that are available in the handbook, which will help you to break the ice, ask these initial icebreaker questions to each other to get to know each other more better. At this point of time, mentors, you will have received information about your mentee and their contact detail, which is their email address. You must initiate your first communication via email and introduce yourself to your mentee by 20th November. While I say this, mentees, do keep an eye out for your mentor's email in your inbox. As soon as you've received your mentor's email, please respond back immediately. We will be sending out a pulse survey towards end of next week to ask if you have been in touch with each other. So we hope that you have established communication by the deadline. Do respond to each other, and mentors, do send out that first email to your mentee and introduce yourself. We encourage that you use a video call platform, at least for the first few sessions, if not for all sessions. We do believe that having face-to-face interaction virtually will help to build the rapport and take the pairing forward. So do have those initial video call meetings if possible. Stage 2 of the program, which is from mid-January to March, do use the initial sessions to set short-term goals or learning objectives as part of your long-term goals. Identify key roles and responsibilities. So for mentors, by this time, you should have learned more about your mentees' studies and their past work experience. Mentees, you should be able to understand how your mentor's expertise and skills is directly relevant to your goals. At this point in the cycle, you should reflect on the support you have been receiving from each other as per the SMART goals framework. And you should be happy about the progress that you're making in identifying the goals that you need to set and also the support that you will require to attain these goals. So on the screen, you will see I have mentioned about the SMART goals framework. Do refer to page 21 of the handbook on how to set your goals according to the SMART goals framework. You will also receive a request from us to share your responses to a second pulse survey in March. And this pulse survey will help us to ensure that you are continuing to be in touch with each other. And if any follow-ups are required, we will then conduct those follow-ups after we've received the survey responses. We will also organize the first virtual meetup for mentees and for mentors separately. And this will be the first virtual meetup. So again, as I mentioned earlier, do sign up for these virtual meetups and try your best to attend these live sessions to mingle with each other. These are really just very informal sessions to just network and meet and connect with your fellow mentees and mentors. The third stage, which is from April until June, which means that in this stage, you will be halfway in your mentoring program. This is a time to review your goals and change any goals if you feel they are no longer relevant or applicable. One of the key things to bear in mind is that you need to be flexible throughout the mentoring program. So if you feel that a certain goal is not applicable, do discuss that with each other and then change or reset these goals. Also understand the support you will further require if you have changed the goals that you have initially set. We will have another virtual meetup during this stage, so do sign up to attend this session. And then stage 4 from June until September. This is a time to prioritize any prioritize your remaining time and also look at the goals, reflect on the achievements you have made, and also remember that this time will pass very quickly. It's June to September. It will be a busy period for some of you. So do remember that this time will pass quickly. So if you need to reset any goals or reflect on any goals, do take this opportunity and change or reset any of the goals that you may have. We will organize a very special virtual meetup for mentors only during the stage. And this session will be to provide guidance and support on the final stage of the program. This is a very different stage where mentors will understand on how to provide that additional support in taking your research study forward, in building that professional development goals that will be required or useful in your career after you finish your doctoral studies. And we will share tips on how to work with each other in seeking support or providing support. We will provide tips and resources on the mentoring program's resource webpage. Speaking of stage 5, which is from October until December, this is a stage which is all about wrapping up your mentoring journey. Mentors and mentees should prioritize any final goals you may have. This will be a time for you to understand how to take your learning forwards, your learnings through the mentoring program forward. For doctoral mentees, do reflect on how you will move forward in your studies. As I've said, this is a one-year program. It doesn't cover your entire doctoral study duration. So do discuss with your mentor the support you will require from them in taking forward your studies, and also take into consideration the advice and guidance from your mentor and the areas of support that you may require in taking your final goals forward. Discuss the support that you will need to develop further research skills and how you will implement your research to achieve your development impact goals. Also, discuss plans of staying in touch with each other outside the mentoring programs. As I said, this is a one-year program, but if you wish to stay in contact with each other, do discuss what that would look like after you have finished the mentoring program. Towards the end, you will also receive a final feedback survey, which is your chance to share your experience of participating in the mentoring program as a mentee or a mentor. I have time and again spoken about the various surveys, but this slide will give you an overview of when to expect these. The CSC will monitor and evaluate the program throughout the year. You will be asked to support this by completing the following surveys. So the first one would be the first pulse survey, which you will receive by end of next week. And the deadline for that to respond to that would be 7th of December. As mentioned, this pulse survey, the first pulse survey, will help us ensure that you have communicated with each other, you have sent that first email, you have scheduled your first meeting. So it's a very short survey. Do complete and submit the survey on time. The second pulse survey, which will be in March 2024, this again is a very short survey, and this will help us ensure that you are progressing as a mentoring pair in the program, and that you are continuing to have communication with each other, you're scheduling regular meetings with each other. And then comes the final evaluation survey in end of November 2024. This is a formal survey to share your experiences as a mentee, as a mentor, and share any thoughts you may have of participating in the program. Over the past years, we have received really positive as well as constructive feedback from previous mentees and mentors, which has really helped us to shape this mentoring program and make any further developments for new cohorts. So do share that information in the final feedback survey. After the final feedback survey, we haven't forgotten y'all. We do want to know what the long-term impact of participating in the program is, which is why we will get in touch with you in April 2025. This survey will ask you to reflect on the longer-term benefits of taking part in the program. So there will be questions around, have you continued being in contact with your mentee or your mentor after the formal mentoring program has been completed? What does that contact look like? Are you collaborating with each other? Are you just sharing updates about your career with each other? Are you sharing information about upcoming events, conferences within the sector? So this is a great survey for us to capture that information. Apart from the surveys, we will also stay in touch with you throughout the various touch points via mailings to give you further information about upcoming mentoring stage and of course the virtual meetups. So do take this opportunity to engage with the CSC Alumni Team, to share any concerns you might have or any queries you might have about your role or about the program in general. And in general, if you have any questions, just send us an email. I will share the email address very soon. We have compiled a list of resources which are available to you, not just in the handbooks, but also on the CSE website. And the link to the website is available in the chat box. Thank you to my colleague Kirsty, who's already been sharing web page links in the chat box. Do have a look in the chat box for the link to the CSE website's resource web page for the mentoring program. On the website, you will, or on the resource page, you will find the mentee and mentor handbooks. You'll also find a mentoring log table, which basically is a document to help you take notes during each of your session and look through the action points that you have discussed on taking those on attaining your set goals. The mentoring log table is also useful in terms of looking through your previous session's notes and being prepared for your upcoming session and what you would like to discuss with your mentee or your mentor. We have also provided you with a SMART goals log table on the resource webpage. And this is a document for you to make note of any short-term or long-term goals that you have set for yourself at the onset of the program. Again, I cannot stress enough on the importance of setting goals for yourself to have a clear direction and structure of participating in the program and discussing what you would like to gain from this program. So yes, do have a look at the SMART goals log table to record your short-term and long-term goals or any learning objectives that you would like to develop as part of the program. And again, as I mentioned, I promised you I will share page numbers of tips that are in the handbook itself. So just an overview of some top tips of participating as a mentee or mentor is on page 19. Right now is a great time to look at the icebreaker tips, which is on page 20, as well as the SMART goals framework on a very useful tool to understand how to set your goals, which is on page 21. And of course, throughout the program, you will find it useful to learn how to effectively communicate with each other, as well as how to provide or receive constructive feedback. So do have a look at the handbook with all the tips and just general information about each stage and what are the expected outcomes of each stage. A few additional information before we wrap up this presentation. As you know, mentees, you are currently studying in the UK or will be going on your fieldwork to gather your research data, and your mentors will be all across the Commonwealth, wherever they are based at the moment. So do keep in mind that there are time zone differences plus clock turn, time changes. Do keep in mind to check the time zone differences before you schedule your call. Also, right now, discuss the ways you would like to keep in touch. So, as mentioned, it would be nice to schedule your meetings over a video call platform. But you can wish to choose a platform like Zoom or Microsoft Teams or WhatsApp if you are comfortable sharing that detail, or emails if you're more comfortable with emails. But do try to have these initial meetings via video call, if not for the rest of the program. And find flexibility as you are gaining or receiving support or providing support. Be flexible in setting your goals, be flexible with your scheduled meetings. If you are unable to make it to the meeting, do inform each other in advance. And just a quick plug to being familiar with the CSC policies that are outlined and that are very useful to know as a mentee or mentor participating in the program. So do read the CSC Code of Conduct for award holders and for alumni. Do maintain confidentiality. Please do not share any personal information that you discuss during your session. Do not share any contact details with a third party without seeking consent from each other. There's also duty to report and information on CSC safeguarding policies, which is available in the handbook. So please do familiarize yourself with this information. Mentees, do keep in mind that it is useful to, or it is rather important to take care of your mental health and well-being while you're studying. Studying in the new country, experiencing a new culture, or braving the cold weather is quite challenging, I must say. So do seek support from your mentor about the challenges you're facing. But mentors also do keep in mind that the CSC has compiled resources on student well-being, which are available on the CSC website for everyone to access. I'm just going to share the link of the well-being page in the chat box. Okay. While we do hope that your pairing is successful from now until December 2024, there may be some reasons where the pairings need to be terminated, and these reasons are outlined in the handbook. But to begin with, if a mentee or mentor cannot continue the program due to unforeseen reasons or due to other commitments, we do urge you to discuss this with your mentee and mentor, and then do let us know of such instances where we will need to terminate the pairing, unfortunately. But do be mindful that there are possibilities of pairings being terminated, and unfortunately, we won't be able to provide an alternative pair at that point of time. And yeah, just if you would like to know of how previous mentees and mentors have provided support or sought for guidance from their mentee or mentor, do have a look at the mentoring testimonials, which are available on the CSC website. As I said, it is so important to provide your feedback through the feedback surveys, which is a great opportunity for us to look at your experiences, to learn more about them, and then to perhaps follow up further with you to gain testimonials, or just in general, if you are having a really great mentoring pairing experience, just get in touch with us and share your positive experience. Or you can also share during the virtual meetups when you attend these sessions. Here is the email address. If you have any queries, do contact us at the CSC Alumni Team at alumni@csceuk.org.uk. I'm sure my colleague will put in the email address in the chat box shortly. If you have any questions about your role, your responsibilities, or in general, the mentoring program and how to go about with it, we have put together responses to queries we have received in the past in the FAQ section, which is available on the CSE website. And with this, we come to an end. If you have any questions, please pop them in the chat box. I am now opening the Q&A session. Also, while I was presenting, I was trying to stop myself from smiling because I did not introduce myself. So my name is Evangeline Aritwala, and apologies, I should have done that much in advance at the start of the session. So my name is Evangeline Aritwala. I'm the Alumni Engagement Officer. I oversee the mentoring program along with my colleagues Eamon and Kirsty. I will be your main point of contact. So if you have any queries, do send me an email, or if you have any queries right now, send them in the chat box. I'm guessing there are no questions. So I'm just going to do another shameless plug of the deadline that's upcoming, which is 20th November for mentors. Do send out the first email to your mentee. Introduce yourself. In the initial communication from us, you have received a guideline on how to introduce yourself and how to go about with that first initial communication with your mentee. And mentees, please do keep a lookout for your mentor's email and respond back immediately. Thank you so much for attending. I am taking it that there are no questions. Ishrat, I see that you have unmuted yourself. Do you have a question?
Yeah, no, I don't have any questions, but I just want to thank you for the nice presentation and all the valuable information. That was really helpful, actually. And I hope I will get a lot of helpful suggestion or some learning point from this program. Yeah,
definitely. Thank you so much for sharing that. And do attend the virtual meetups that we will organize throughout the year, and stay in touch with us. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed this session. We will stay in touch with you. You will see a lot of me, or you will hear from me a lot from through the different mailings that I will send you throughout the year.